Hello there, welcome back. I know I look like a hot mess. It is what it is. I don't really have any makeup on. I haven't had time. I had things to do this morning and it's so cold. I put one of those windshield covers on to get ahead of the game with the frost and everything. It is what it is. It's that time of year. I'm also in layers. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm in layers. But what I'm here for today is to talk with you guys about something. Do you find that it's harder out here to even be frugal? Do you find that it's a lot harder to be frugal? So when we go against the grain of something that's been set in place, we always try to find a way to go around it, or to think outside of the box per se. But it's getting harder by the day. There are a lot of hidden fees, hidden taxes, all of that sort of thing. It's just gotten out of control. It's out of control. All right. So what I want to talk about is being frugal is a lot harder than what it used to be. I mean, do the best you can with what you have, but let's be real. It's hard. It's hard. I've always been somebody to think outside of the box, look for a better way. All right? I've always been that person. If there's a will, there's a way. And my saying is, there's more than one way to skin a cat. I've always said that. My kids and everybody that know me, I've said this before. So, to be honest, we're living in a nickel and dime times right now. Nickel and dime times. I mean, let's face it. So, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. They come up with the most ridiculous fees and taxes out there for every little thing. For every little thing. Before long, they'll probably start charging a sun tax. You're like, what's a sun tax? To use your solar panels, if you have them. I personally don't have any. The cost is a big reason, but I'm unsure. I mean, maybe if I were a whole lot younger, just starting out or whatever, I would probably consider that, but maybe not so much at the moment at my age. I don't know. But I honestly feel like they're going to come up with a sun tax just to use solar panels. They already have redundant fees on your power electric bill. Okay, the fees are sometimes more than what the power is that you're actually using. Have you really looked at it? Have you honestly looked at it? It's getting nuts. Now, I'm also one of those people that will cut things off because there is such a thing as phantom power. Okay, that's electronics that are on standby at all times, and they're sucking a little bit of power. So what I do is simply cut it off. I started that recently, especially the internet or the Wi-Fi. I just cut everything off or unplug it. You need to unplug the device or the electronic itself. Unplug it. It may be inconvenient or whatever, but it could possibly save you $100 or $200 a year just unplugging the device. I get it. There are some things that you cannot unplug. I totally get that. I totally get it. All right. Now, I want to talk about the personal property taxes. Has it ever come, have you ever thought about that with personal property taxes? Do you actually really own anything? Let's say your home is paid for, or a mobile home, or something like that. Even your vehicles. But you may live somewhere where you pay property taxes on the things that you own or have. It's absurd. And to me, it sounds illegal. It really affects the senior citizens. You pay for your mortgage and then you continue to pay taxes on the property that you have. And sometimes those taxes are more than your mortgage. And that's a fact. That's a fact. Did you know that there's a proposal right now to get rid of the property taxes by Trump? I don't know how long this is going to take, but it has to go through the states or state. But there are, I think, about a handful of states that are in discussion right now. I personally think that if they do that for those handful of states, they need to do it for all states. It's a nickel and dime times right now. Do you know what those property taxes go for? You want to know what they go for? They go for the state's budget. For example, just name a state in the United States. The property taxes would go towards that state's budget. It would also go towards the law enforcement, police. It goes towards schools. Whether you have children or not, it goes towards schools. It's a lot of other things that it goes for. All right? Now, it's good and bad. It's good and bad. You know, we need the law enforcement, and you have children in school. I get it. It's a catch-22. But there is discussion right now to eliminate the property taxes. Do you know what that would do for people, eliminating the property taxes? But at the same time, it could demolish a lot of other things because the states rely on that for their budget. Okay, take like a city and their employees and their workers and things like that. They rely on the budget. But anywho, I personally feel like to replace that, like if they get rid of the property taxes, then increase the sin tax. Do you know what a sin tax is? Sin tax is for cigarettes, gambling, drugs. I'm not going to say the actual word. We know what that word is. Pornography, recreation, all of those sorts of things. If they would jack that up and replace the property tax, that would make sense. That would make sense. There are talks about removing the grocery tax. But if they do that, then they would probably have to keep the property tax. It's one or the other. Right? Right. So, when I talk about being frugal is a struggle nowadays, I'm for real on that. Especially for people that live in a camper, live in a mobile home park, or an RV. Something other than the typical home. It has really hit them. For example, their lot rent may have been $300 a month to have your trailer sitting in a mobile home park. Now it's like $500, $700. And they have the most redundant fees. A visitor fee, a maintenance fee, trash removal fee, just removing your trash. Let's say somebody else, a corporation, takes it over, and then you have to pay a convenience fee or something like that for somebody else to take it over. Those are hidden fees. And it has gotten out of control. And listen to this. If your RV or camper is older than, 15, 20 years, they won't even take that in a park. They won't accept it. A lot of people choose to do other things to get by. You know, you can't even live in your car anymore because as of right now, they're getting people for that as well if they're living in their car. But somebody that doesn't have a choice, the only thing they have is their car, what do? They're getting tickets for living in their car. I just feel things are beyond. It's beyond. We're at a point right now where there's nothing left. Like, you do the sales, you stretch your dollar as far as you can. You buy used. Me personally, I have an older car. Well, actually, I have several vehicles, and they're all over 20 years old. Okay? They're still operating and running, but they're over 20 years old, and there's still taxes. There's still taxes on this crap. So, do you actually own it? It's unnecessary. People are struggling. Yes. When your taxes are more than your mortgage, Houston, we have a problem. We have a huge problem. And if they go through with a 50-year mortgage, let's think about that. You need to get rid of personal property and property taxes. Find another way to make up for that money. And my thoughts are, jack up the sin tax on all those things that I mentioned previously. Make up for it right there. Give people a break. Give people a break. Anywho, that's my rant for today. Leave me a comment. Tell me your thoughts. Are you at a breaking point where you find it to be impossible to be frugal anymore due to hidden taxes or property taxes? Share your thoughts. Peace out.